Welcome back to Makeover May. I'm Tasha Cleaveland with Latitudes Art Gallery, and today we're going to take a look at George's submission for our Makeover May giveaway. That is our annual contest where all you have to do is submit a photo of your room that you would like artwork, and we will place artwork of your choice or our selection on your wall, and you get to see what it'll look like. It's a really great thing that we do in the gallery. It's really fun. People love seeing their artwork choices on the wall before they do anything, before they buy anything. We get to size things. It's great. We can decide between two different images, the best location for things. It really takes away all the guesswork. So all May long, we do this virtually so that people can see what it'll look like, and we share it with you. So today's submission is George. I'm going to add his room to the view so you can see it too. And George has submitted this TV wall. Now, we talked about a TV wall yesterday with Erica's room, and Erica's room was a little bit different because she had basically a built-in look with her entertainment center where she had essentially bookcases on either side, and it was all one large unit. And oftentimes, that's my favorite way to deal with a TV wall, to have sort of different layers and depth to that wall to kind of balance out the depth of the TV and the blackness of the TV and all of those things. So I do love how Erica did it yesterday. This is another common way people do TV walls, and that is with a stand below it. Oftentimes, if you mount your TV on the wall, it can get too high. And so even though we have this really cool new seamless TV mounted on the wall thing happening in interior design, oftentimes people are still opting to put it on a stand. And that's what we're looking at here. It's a dark stand, a dark TV. And in George's house, if I'm taking a look at his space, he has a lot of lightness around the TV. There's a lot of bright and light space around here. And actually, now that I'm looking at this room, I know this room. I've been here before. Hi, George. I hung art on the opposite wall, I think. And that opposite wall is Dreamscape, which is a red color palette, which is funny because one of the images he requested for this wall is Light Dance, and that's this one. It's very similar to the piece that he already has on the other wall. So oftentimes when we're talking about a space, one room, what I like to say is you want all of the walls to be a part of the same story, but not repeating the same sentence. So for this wall, George, I'm going to say we're repeating the same sentence because this is very similar to what we already have on the opposite wall. So I'm going to say no here. The other reason I don't like this one as much is, do you see how heavy and dark it is? It's actually bringing more darkness to the space rather than balancing out the darkness. So it just feels a little bit heavy. And as I recall, this whole side that basically where you were standing is a big sectional, actually a sofa and two chairs. And so it's all this light gray color over here with a very similar piece of art behind you as you were standing there. So I would say bringing those colors across the room is, you're on the right track there, but possibly not as heavy, not as dark. And if I'm correct, to the left of us, so that we can't see in this picture, is a fireplace with like a dark gray, very dark gray, like a shiplap wall, right? So we have some darkness over there. I would say let's balance that out just a little bit. Now, Light Dance, actually, original ratio is a 2-to-1. Straight out of the camera, it's the normal kind of the shape of a TV shape. But this one we are able to do in this crop, and that's what I've shown you here. The other image that you requested was Shoreline Symphony. Now, Shoreline Symphony, this is the original ratio of the one I just showed you, as well as this. If we do Shoreline Symphony, then we're kind of stuck putting it to the right of the TV. And you see how heavy that feels down at the bottom? Everything's really dark and heavy all down at the lower half of the room. Although I do really like the lightness that's happening above the horizon line. And I'm comfortable with hanging it with the horizon line lining up with the TV, the top of the TV. It makes sense. We wouldn't want to hang it like all the way up here. We wouldn't want to hang it here. Do you see how awkward that feels? This image, we don't have a lot of choices. Even if I were to go bigger, then that's just sort of strange and awkward here. So bigger doesn't make a lot of sense for balance. And then fitting it to this side, probably eye level is about there, but I would shift it up slightly just so that those lines balance nicely on this wall. So Shoreline Symphony, I would say, isn't my favorite. But when I was looking at your requests, the first one I saw was this one. And I was like, okay, George, you know what you're doing. Drop the mic, because I was just done. I was done. It was like perfect right off the bat. And now that I know who you are, it makes a lot of sense, because you guys did a great job in this room. So with this image, I actually really, really absolutely love it in this space. I love that the other side of the room is a similar sort of abstract vibe, but abstract in a totally different way. The other side of the room is like what I was showing you before, this sort of like soft, streaky look. And this image is abstract because it takes you a second to figure out what you're looking at. It's actually the trunk of a tree. And this is a very unique kind of tree, a rainbow eucalyptus tree, only found in Kauai and Hawaii. And I love turning this image on its side because it gives you even more of a brain warp. It really makes you think, what am I looking at? What is this? And then when you figure it out, it's like a really fun explosion. I'm absolutely in love with this image above your TV on this wall. And I actually really like adding this black snap to it. I like that because it brings some of the darkness up to the top half of the room without feeling as heavy as if we were to do light dance. Do you see the difference there? We've got the black pulling it up, but here it's still light overall. We kind of looked at that yesterday in Gary's room, where we had the light and dark kind of balanced in the image versus just on part of the image. So a lot of the times when we have heaviness on the bottom, it works really well to have an evenly balanced image to kind of stretch that out and give it a little bit of breathing room without feeling so heavy and without feeling disconnected. It connects it all together. So drop the mic there. Loving, loving, loving rainbow eucalyptus in your space. I think you guys did a great job. The only addition I would add is a plant here to pull some of those greens in and also fill in this negative space. Now, oftentimes I talk about balancing out positive space with negative space and balancing out the space around the image. And normally I would say, let's make sure there's a lot of space around the image. But in this case, if you have a nice light and airy plant, it fills in this gap that's sort of awkward left over from the TV being to the side without it feeling dense and full. It ties all of these pieces together. So that would be my only recommendation. The other image you requested was Nepali east to west. And without a doubt, when I go back and forth between the two, rainbow's the winner. So thank you so much for your submission, George. I really appreciate your entry. It was fun to take a look at your space, and I was super impressed with what you had asked for. Good job. And if you have not submitted your room for our Makeover May giveaway, please hurry up and do it. We're the 13th? We're halfway through the contest. If you did not enter your room, you are missing out on the opportunity to win $1,000 in Latitude's artwork of your choice. And all you have to do is send in a photo. Come on, it's easy. I look forward to sharing the next room with you tomorrow. And thanks so much for watching.